Good morning, students. Welcome to 11th physics class. Today topic is on laws of motion. Motion means movement of the object. Each and every object in the universe attracted or relation or interacts with every other object. For example, air interacts with the tree interacts with the earth, human beings interact with plants and animals. So everything is attracted with one to another. Okay, some simple questions, that is scientific questions also. How things move and why things move? Okay, object moves because something pushes or pulls them. For example, if a book is at rest, it will not move unless a force is applied on it. In other words, to move an object, a force must be applied on it. Force causes motion. Force causes motion. அதாவது விசை இயக்கத்தை ஏற்படுத்துகிறது. Aristotle said that force causes motion. This settlement is based on common sense. But any scientific answer cannot be based on common sense. So Aristotle said force causes motion. In the 15th century, Galileo challenged Aristotle's idea by doing a series of experiments. He said force is not required to maintain motion. Galileo demonstrated his own idea using the following simple experiment. When a ball rolls from the top of an inclined plane, inclined means சாய்வான part, to its bottom, after reaching the ground, it moves some distance and continues to move onto another inclined plane of same angle of inclination. This is first figure. The first figure is same angle. Then, by increasing the smoothness of both the inclined planes, the ball reached almost the same height from where it was released. The second picture is same height. Third picture is, if the angle of inclination is reduced, the ball travels longer distance in the second plane to reach the same height. The next, when the angle of inclination is made zero, the ball moves forever in the horizontal direction. So the first figure is same angle. Second one almost the same height. Third one same height. Fourth one other side at zero. Okay. If the Aristotle idea were true, the ball would not have moved in the second plane. So no force acted on it in the horizontal direction. From this simple experiment, Galileo proved that forces is not required to maintain motion. So in essence, from this experiment, Aristotle coupled the motion with force while Galileo decoupled the motion and force. அதாவது அரிஸ்டாட்டில் ஒரு பொருள் மூவாக ஃபோர்ஸ் தேவை அப்படின்னாரு, பட் கலீலியோ தேவை இல்லை என ப்ரூவ் பண்ணார். தட்ஸ் ஆல். Newton analyzed the views of Galileo and other scientists like Kepler and Copernicus are provided much deeper insights in the form of three laws. First one, Newton's first law. Every object continues to be in the state of rest or uniform motion unless there is external force acting on it. Okay. Things cannot be change their position and their movements. First inertia of rest. Inertia, the inability of objects to change its state by itself in the absence of external force, is called inertia. There are three types of inertia. First one, inertia of rest. The inability of an object to change its state of rest is called inertia of rest. For example, when a stationary bus starts to move, the passengers experience a sudden backward push due to inertia. The body of his passenger will try to continue in the state of rest. While the bus moves forward, this appears as a backward push. For example, a book lying on the table will remain at rest until it's moved by some external agencies. Second one, inertia of motion. The inability of an object to change its state of uniform speed on its own is called inertia of motion. Example, when the bus is in motion and if the brake is applied suddenly, passengers move forward and hit against the front seat. In this case, the bus comes to a stop while the body of passenger continues to move forward due to inertia of motion. Example 3. When a running horse suddenly stops, the rider falls forwards because the lower part of the body of the rider, which is in contact with the horse, comes to rest. But because of inertia, the upper part of the body tends to keep on moving. Next, inertia of direction. The inability of an object to change its direction of motion on its own is called inertia of direction. Example 1. When a stone attached to a string is in whirling motion, and if the string is cut suddenly, the stone will not continue to move in circular motion but moves tangential to the circle. This is because the body cannot change its direction of motion without any force acting on it. Second example, when a bus moving along a straight line takes a turn to the right, the passengers are thrown towards left. This is due to inertia, which makes the passengers travel along the same straight line even though the bus has turned towards left. Newton's first law only explains movement or standard position. In this figure, vehicle moves with constant velocity or remains at rest. The person standing a particular place. So, the person and the vehicle are inertial frames. In this figure, two vehicles are moving different velocity. Vehicle 1 and 2 are moving different velocity. Vehicle 2 is a non-inertial frame. It moves with acceleration with respect to the ground. So, it is called non-inertial frames. Newton's second law. The force acting on an object is equal to the rate of change of its momentum. The force is equal to dp by dt. In simple words, whenever the momentum of the body changes, there must be a force acting on it. So, P is equal to mv. F is equal to d of mv by dt. M is equal to dv by dt is equal to dv by dt is equal to a. So, F is equal to ma. 1 Newton is defined as the force which acts on 1 kilogram of mass to give an acceleration 1 meter per second squared in the direction of the force. Newton's second law is valid only in inertial frames. In non-inertial frames, Newton's second law cannot be used in this form. Aristotle, Galileo and Newton's approach. Aristotle said, external force needs to be applied to move an object with a constant velocity v. அதாவது பொருளை மாறாத ஒரு திசை வேகத்தில் செலுத்தும் போது டோட்டலாக விசை செயல்படுத்த வேண்டும். நெட் ஃபோர்ஸ் இஸ் ஈக்குவல் டு எக்ஸ்டர்னல் ஃபோர்ஸ் நீட். ஓகே. கலீலியோ அண்ட் நியூட்டன் said there is zero net force, no need net force on the object when it moves with constant velocity. இவங்க சொல்ல no need force, அதாவது மாறாத திசை வேகத்தில் ஒரு பொருள் மீது என்ன பண்ணணும், no need force, ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்காக மூவ் ஆகும் அப்படின்றது. Here net force is equal to zero force. That's it. Next, Newton's third law. Newton's third law states that for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. Here, action and reaction pair of forces do not act on the same body but on two different bodies. In these pictures, first one, hammer and the nail. F1 two forces are acting here. First one, F1 force exerted by the nail on the hammer. Reaction, force exerted by the hammer on the nail. Second one, action, force exerted by the feet on ground. Reaction, force exerted by the earth on the feet. So both ball also to action and reaction are working here. So both are equal but opposite direction. That's Newton's law. Newton's law are vector laws. The equation F is equal to ma is a vector equation. By Fx is equal to max along the x direction. Fy is equal to my along the y direction. Fz is equal to maz along the z direction. Okay. In general, the direction of a force may be different from the direction of motion. Case 1. Force and motion in the same direction. When an apple falls towards the earth, the direction of motion, the direction of velocity of the apple and that of force are in the same downward direction. Case 2. Force and motion not in the same direction. The moon experiences a force towards the earth, but it actually moves in elliptical orbit. In this case, the direction of the force is different from the direction of motion. Here, moon revolves around the sun. That path is not same direction. We throw the things upward direction, but gravitational force is downward. So here two forces are acting, but one same, another one opposite direction. Case 4. Zero net force, but there is motion. When a raindrop gets released from the cloud, it experiences both downward gravitational force and upward air drag forces. Here, two forces are acting. From then on, the raindrop moves at constant velocity till it touches the surface of the earth. Hence, the raindrop comes with zero net force. Therefore, with zero acceleration but with non-zero terminal velocity. Next one, multiple forces. Multiple forces are F1, F2, F3 up to Fn acting on the same body. Then the total force F net force is equal to vector F1 plus vector F2 plus vector F3 plus up to vector Fn. That is total forces. Raindrops, two forces are acting here. First one, two forces are opposite force one to another. Air drag force is upward force. Gravity force is downward force. Applications of Newton's law. Free body diagram. Free body diagram la a book keep on the table. Two forces are acting here. First one, there are two forces acting on the book. First one, gravitational force, mg, acting downwards on the book. Second one, normal contact force. So two forces are acting here. The normal force is equal to gravitational force. By mg is equal to n. Particle moving in an inclined plane. When an object of mass m slides on a frictionless surface inclined at an angle theta, the forces acting on it decided the first one, acceleration of the object. Second one, speed of the object when it reaches the bottom. The forces acting on the object is downward gravitational force, mg, normal force perpendicular to inclined surface, n. Here the normal force is equal to downward force. So normal force is equal to mg cos theta. The angle is cos theta. Downward force mg la acceleration a ma. So mg is equal to n. அப்போ mg sin theta is equal to ma ஐன்னு சொல்லுவோம். அப்போ a is equal to g sin theta. So normal force is equal to downward force, gravity force. So normal force is called upward force, downward force is called gravitational force. So both are equal. but opposite direction. Two bodies in contact on a horizontal surface. Consider two blocks of masses m1 and m2 kept in contact with each other on the smooth horizontal frictionless surface. By the application of horizontal force F, both the blocks are set into motion with acceleration A. To find the acceleration A vector, Newton's second law has to be applied to the system. F vector is equal to ma. If we choose in motion of the two masses along the positive x direction, F I cap is equal to ma I cap. I cap means unit vector. By comparing components of both sides, F is equal to ma, where m is equal to m1 plus m2. So two masses are using here. So m1 one mass, m2 another mass. Okay, the acceleration of the system, A is equal to m by m1 plus m2. Here F I vector minus m12 means mass, first mass, second mass. So m1 ai. So same F12 is equal to F minus m1a, first equation. The next F12 is equal to F m2 by m1 plus m2. So like this we are find out force of object 1 and 2. Okay, next F21. So mass 2 then 1. So m2a next to mass. The F21 is equal to F m2 by m1 plus m2. So like this we find out force. Next, motion of connected bodies. The first one contact bodies. This is connected bodies. When objects are connected by strings and a force F is applied either vertically or horizontally or along an inclined plane, anyone, it produces a tension. Tension means இழுவிசை, இழுக்கக்கூடிய force T in the string. Here also discuss about various force. First one, vertical motion. Two blocks of masses m1 and m2 connected by a light and inextensible string that passes over a pulley. Let us the tension in the string be T, அதாவது கயிறோட இழுக்கக்கூடிய விசை, and the acceleration A. When the system is released, both the blocks start moving. Both are moving. M1 and M2 vertically upward and M1 downward. So one mass acting upward force, one mass downward force with the same acceleration A. So the gravitational force m1g on the mass m1 is used in lifting the mass m2. Here m1 applying Newton's second law for mass m2. But T string force is equal to mass 2 gravitational force is equal to mass 2 acceleration. Both are equal. By comparing the components on both sides, T, அதாவது கயிறோட இழுக்கக்கூடிய விசை, T minus m2g is equal to m2a. Okay. Second, first mass also same like this. But A is equal to 0. So A acceleration is equal to m1 minus m2 by m1 plus m2 gravitational force. That's all. But case 2 la horizontal motion. Horizontal motion la the forces acting on mass 2 are downward gravitational force m2g, upward normal force n, horizontal tension T. Okay, the forces acting on mass m1, downward gravitational force m1g, the next tension acting upwards. Okay, so இதுக்கு applying Newton's second law for mass m1 same things, T minus m1g is equal to minus m1a. The negative symbol indicate opposite direction. That's all. Okay. Concurrent force and Lami's theorem. Concurrent force means ஒரு மைய விசை சென்ட்ரல் மையமாக வச்சு ஒர்க் பண்ணக்கூடியது. A collection of forces is said to be concurrent if the lines of forces act a common point. Say all the forces acting in a common point. Concurrent forces need not be in the same plane. If they are in the same plane, they are concurrent as well as coplanar forces. So all the forces acting in central point O, these called concurrent forces. Lami's theorem. Lami's theorem states that the magnitude of each forces of the system is proportional to the sine of the angle between the other two forces. The constant of proportionality is same for all three forces. Let us consider three coplanar and concurrent forces, F1, F2 and F3. Concurrent force means the three forces acting in same point, a common point O. If the point is at equilibrium, according to Lami's theorem, F1 directly proportional to sin alpha, F2 directly proportional to sin beta, F3 directly proportional to sin alpha. So therefore F1 modulus by sin alpha is equal to F2 modulus by sin beta is equal to F3 modulus by sin gamma. So Lami's theorem is useful to analyze the force acting on objects which are in static equilibrium. Next, law of conservation of total linear momentum. Okay, in nature, conservation laws play a very important role. The dynamics of motion of bodies can be analyzed very effectively using conservation laws. There are three conservation laws of mechanics: conservation of total energy, conservation of total linear momentum, and conservation of angular momentum. By combining Newton's second and third laws, we can derive the law of conservation of total linear momentum. When two particles interact with each other, they exert equal and opposite forces on each other. Already we have learned about this in previous class at 10th classes. The particle 1 exerts force F21 and 1 exerts the force on 2, on particle 2 and particle 2 exerts an exactly equal and opposite forces F12 and particle 1. Okay, according to Newton's third law, F21 is equal to minus F12. The first object order action is equal to second object order action. So negative symbol indicate opposite direction. In terms of momentum of particles, the force on each particles can be written as F12 is equal to dP1 dt and F21 is equal to dP2 by dt. Okay. Here substitute equations dP1 by dt is equal to minus dP2 by dt. So both are equal but opposite direction. So minus coming this side, dP1 plus d2 plus dP2 by d2 is equal to 0. So d by d2 equal to p1 vector plus p2 is equal to 0. It implies that p1 plus p2 is equal to constant vector. Next, impulse. If a very large force acts on an object for a very short duration, then the force is called impulsive force or impulse. Short period heavy force, that is impulse. The force F acts on the object in very short interval of time, delta t in short time mentioned by delta t. From Newton's second law in magnitude form, F dt is equal to dp. Okay, the integral time, initial time ti to final time tf f dt சொல்லுவோம். Final momentum minus initial momentum is equal to integral of ti to tf is equal to f dt சொல்லுவோம். அப்போ pi ங்கிறது initial momentum of the object at time t1, pf ங்கிறது final momentum of the object at tf. Okay, here f delta t is equal to delta p சொல்லுவோம். இப்போ impulse is a vector quantity and its unit பண்ண ns. F average is equal to delta p by delta t. So total change of time. Momentum. Here two pictures here. Two force impulse given. First diagram is force is not changed, so the area is square safe, so no change. Second, so change, the force is changing, up and down changing. Question: when a cricket player catches the ball, he pulls his hands gradually in the direction of the ball's motion. Why? If the stops his hands soon after catching the ball comes to rest very quickly. It means that the momentum of the ball is brought to rest very quickly. So the average force acting on the body will be very large. Due to this large average force, the hands will get hurt. To avoid getting hurt, the player brings the ball to rest slowly. So ball வேகமாகவே ரெஸ்ட் பொசிஷன் அடையும் பொழுது கை வலிக்க ஆரம்பிக்கும். ஸோ கையை கீழே தாழ்த்தும் போடும்போது அந்த வலியோட பொசிஷன் குறையும். அதுக்காக கிரிக்கெட் பிளேயர் கையை பால்கூடையே கீழே கேட்ச் பண்ணிவிட்டு கீழே அப்படியே கொண்டு போயிடுறாங்க. தட்ஸ் ஆல். டவுன்வர்ட் ஃபோர்ஸில் கொண்டு போகிறது. Okay students, today topic is over. Today homework. The students read the questions well and write the answer. I marked book page number also. First one, prove the laws of conservation of linear momentum. Use it to find the recoil velocity of a gun when a bullet is fired from it. This is the example. Second one, what are the concurrent forces? State Lami's theorem. Third one, explain the motion of the blocks connected by a string in vertical motion and horizontal motion. Okay students. Thank you students. God bless you.